Well, we are back for another live podcast. This is your boy EC22, and this is the FairWeather Fan Channel, man. Like always, like, subscribe, share, leave comments, join the conversation. We got J-Dub in the house. What's going on, bro?
Brother, just another beautiful day up here. It's nice and cool. Everybody busy. Got everybody signed up to more sports, and I know how to get them there.
Hello. Coach D-Wade jumping to the screen. What's up, Coach?
I don't think you can hear you. Oh, there he goes.
What's up, fellas?
All right. Y'all, we got a lot to cover today. So you know what? Ain't no time like the present. Let's dive right on in, man. For those who are watching, you've seen the subtitle, right? We're talking about the NFL draft. But before we get to the draft, we want to just briefly talk about this situation here. Sheduer Sanders, him falling short, falling in the draft. The question is this NFL cohesion? Starting with you, J-Dub.
Man, I don't know, and I'm sure y'all read and watched all the same things I've seen and read and watched. But I've been a Sheduer Sanders fan. You can go back to the podcast last fall when we were talking about Colorado. I'm rooting for him. I like the kid. I think he's going to be a phenomenal star eventually. I think just like his daddy, a loud personality is going to turn a lot of people off, right?
Thanks.
Because especially Deion was loud, but Deion proved it day one, right? So he earned his right to be loud. Well, it's harder to prove your right to be loud at the quarterback position. That's a hard position to prove that you can be loud and you can be him and you can be this and that. So I don't think it was collusion. I don't think it was any. I know I heard Boomer Esiason say that GMs were having him taken off the board and this, that, and the other. But you're also talking to probably the biggest sports fan y'all know that doesn't care about the draft. I do not care. I've seen too many Tim Couches and I've seen too many Tom Brady's. I've seen too many number ones that aren't there the next season, and I've seen too many number 6 rounders. And we can talk about Darko Milicic if we want to cross over to the NBA. Number one doesn't always mean something. First round pick doesn't always mean something. The only thing it changed is his contract length as a rookie. If you're a first rounder, they can hold on to you for 5 years instead of 4. So him falling out of the first round is probably better for him in terms of options and money. But I think he's going to still be a star. I think it's weird that he went to the Browns. Like I actually expected the Cowboys to take him in like the 5th round, fourth or 5th round. So the Browns drafted 2 in a row. Like I don't even Dylan somebody. I don't. Anyway, yeah, Dylan Gabriel. So I don't see this as any big dark secret or any conspiracy theory. I could be wrong. He's a loud person. He's a loud personality, and I think a lot turned off a lot of people. And we're going to see what holds, right? So now all the pressure's off of him now. He has no pressure on his shoulders at all. He can go out there and prove everybody wrong. It actually gave him a good chip on his shoulder. So I'm still cheering for him. I've been looking for a reason to cheer for Cleveland. They're the only team. They're the only team I root for because I've never known them to have success in my lifetime. I root for Cleveland because I want to see them win a playoff game.
Right. What about you, Coach D-Wade? What do you think about this?
You know, it was really weird for whatever reason. Jacob said something that I disagree with wholeheartedly. He said, and he may not have meant exactly how he said it, but he said, I still think he's going to be a star.
I do.
Okay. Well, I don't. And so one of us will be right, one of us will be wrong in 5 years. But
all right, wait. So let me edit something real quick. I'm not interrupting you. Maybe I don't think he'll be a star. I'm hoping he will be a star. I'm rooting for him. I'm cheering every day.
Yeah. And Sheduer's it's interesting with him because he has he wears loud stuff. He wears a lot of bling bling, but I don't really think his personality is a loud, cocky, overly arrogant, obnoxious Johnny Manziel type personality. Okay, I think Sheduer's probably a pretty chill dude. You know, you get him away from the camera, in a pair of cutoffs and and he's sitting there playing some Madden with you, he's probably super laid back. EC.
Yeah, my whole thought about the situation is, first of all, just like Jonathan said, I knew if it was either first round or fifth round for me, because I knew if he didn't go first round, he was going to slide out because of the teams that needed a quarterback. They wasn't going to pick a quarterback that early. There were some who took a risk. We saw those QBs right there. Those teams took a risk. I like with Jackson Dart. I knew he was going to go early first round. But he, I thought he was going to go early second round, but he ended up going first round. But other than that, I knew he was going to slide because it's just the business of it. Here is a guy who wants to be a starter, who has the potential to be a starter. But do you take him in the first round or you let him slide to the fifth round? And that's exactly what happened. I thought it was going to happen. Now, my only problem with this was I think the Raiders wanted him, and then Cleveland took him in the rounds. I believe the Raiders, because that's when the Raiders drafted the quarterback, and I believe they played around with it too long. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. He should have went to the combine. When he went to the combine, he should have played in the combine. He should have. So leave all the haters, because they start talking this nonsense. I'm not gonna say nonsense. Everybody have their opinion, right? They started talking about how they didn't think he was a great quarterback, spending 2 years in the SWAC, then just 2 years in the Power 5 and the Big 12. But that team, well, the Pac-10 in Big 12, a team that wasn't great. So we look at all these other quarterbacks who played their whole career in the Power 5 conferences. It wasn't a whole lot. So I think he should have went out there, silenced the haters, or the doubters, not haters, or the doubters in the combine. But he didn't, and this is what it is. So
here's a question for both of you guys regarding this topic, okay? Opinion, if Sheduer would have started his junior and senior year for one of the big name SEC schools, still be looking at the same kind of draft with him?
If that team, the team that whatever team he would have played for, whether it be Big 12, SEC, that team had to make the playoffs.
Yeah, if he's a starting quarterback of Alabama and they have the same record as Colorado had last year, I think we see similar effects right now, right? But if he's a starting quarterback of Ole Miss or Alabama or whatever, and they go 10-3 and enter the playoff, then it's a different story. But I think that would have been true for Colorado too if he'd have made the playoff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So gun to y'all's head, if you have to pick one guy right now to be your starting quarterback fall, and your choices are Sheduer or Jackson Dart, who are you
Sheduer.
I'm picking Jackson Dart.
I'm picking Sheduer.
Now, I might take the bullet. I'm just going to take the bullet.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So real quick, this kid, Jax Ulbrich, talking about Deion Sanders. This kid. This is, y'all, let me take a stab at this. This is embarrassing for the league with all this going on with coercion, all this stuff like that. And then you got to deal with this nonsense. This let me know that some other talking has been going on. I don't want to blame Ulbrich for this situation, but this is where people talk, because a kid like this don't do this and don't single out a player without him overhearing something, And that's where I take that. So I think if you take a deeper dive into it, it's a little bit more darker than what we realize.
I bet it is too. And I was in the dark about it in general. And I'm not trying to make a play on words, but when I started reading about it Monday or yesterday, I was like, man, what is this? I didn't even know about this. It sucks. I wish it was just a random fan doing something stupid, but it's the defensive coordinator's son. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think I'm not going to call it any race privilege. That's wealth privilege. That's rich privilege. He thought he was outside the law. He thought he could get away with doing this epic prank, and it was a pretty good prank. And again, it would have been a great prank if it had been from just some random dude in Iowa. But no, when you're a family member of a defensive coordinator for an NFL team, the same rules don't apply to you when you do something like that.
Mm-hmm. Here's what's bizarre, guys. How does Dylan Gabriel go before Sheduer? I can't even wrap my head around that.
Why did they pick two? That's what I can't wrap my head around.
They did a press conference. They said they had no intentions of getting a Sheduer Sanders, but when they got ready to make that pick, the fact that he was still out there at that point, they had already buttoned up their positions. They already got the pieces that they needed out of the draft. So at this point, they said you just take the best player in the draft at this point, and so that's why they got them. And they said they didn't really want to, but it was the best player in the draft remaining at that point. They said the only thing they felt like good came out of this was the competition going to create in the quarterback room.
So they think Dylan's better than Sheduer because they picked him way ahead of Sheduer?
Yes, that's what that means. They think that.
That's bizarre, dude. That makes zero sense to me.
I don't think that they think that Dylan gave his Brad better. I just don't think they wanted Sheduer.
Oh, well, that could be true, too.
Okay.
That is a weird quarterback room right now. That is a strange Deshaun Watson, bus driver, Flacco, and then 2 rookies. That's a weird quarterback room they're going into spring, going into training with.
Yeah.
He said the Browns' office being the Browns for exactly. That's exactly what they do.
Yeah. I hear you. That's wild.
So speaking on the Browns, let's go ahead and jump on them first real quick. Their draft gives them a grade B for the draft grade. Like I said, too many quarterbacks, as everybody stated. They're going to mess this up. They're just going to mess this up. I give them a B for the way they drafted, the pieces they got early on, but then at the end, it's just too much going on in Cleveland right now. I don't think they have an idea. You don't show the whole world when you pick Sheduer that you're not happy. The faces in the room wasn't there. This is all messed up. And so whoever has to the QB these guys, coach these guys and GMs, we'll see. Somebody's career gonna get messed up. It's gonna be Dylan or Sheduer. I don't know.
Well, I mean, they can always trade him at the end of this year, you know.
Yeah. Or even before this. I mean, so they can trade him up through week 7.
Absolutely.
It's just weird to me because neither one of those guys will be able to play, you know, a year anyway, you know.
He said they 20 QBs. They're going to need 2 QBs, coaches, and a drum bass.
Yeah, that's a lot. Listen, and I thought the Browns. I liked. So I know Coach and I talked about this a little bit. I liked the Browns for their first 3 rounds a lot. They got a big defensive tackle to help Miles in there. They got a running back to help their running back room. They got a big ass tight end. I don't even know where he played, but he's 6'3", 250, something like that. And then they went to the double quarterback thing, which I don't understand, but they didn't ask my opinion either. So I thought the Browns were doing very well early in the draft. I don't know. Again, I don't know why you pick 2 quarterbacks in the same draft. Whoever you are, whoever the players are.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Go ahead, Coach. What was I going to say? Hey, did the kid from Ohio State get picked up late?
The quarterback? Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he got picked up. We'll get to him. All right, Tennessee Titans picked Cam Ward, number 1 overall. I gave them an A. They got Cam Ward. They made the right decision in the draft. This team is rebuilding, and fans should be happy. But let's not forget, this is still Tennessee.
Exactly.
And it's still a rookie quarterback coming in. So
and it's been a long time since they almost scored that touchdown in the Super Bowl. I like what Tennessee did. I'm a huge Cam Ward fan, and I'm not a big fan of drafting a quarterback number 1. This is too much risk. But when you don't have anything, you have to swing for the fences. And they're hoping Cam is that guy. They're hoping Cam is the dude who takes him to the next step. And I hope he's the dude that takes him to the next step. But, man, that's just a lot. That's a lot of pressure on a young man's shoulders, man. It really is.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's hard getting that first overall quarterback position because you're pretty much saying that you're the savior of the franchise. But I give him a couple years if the Tennessee
and now
the right thing, you know.
And now everything you do on the field and off the field is under a microscope. I'm telling you, I would not want to be the first pick of the NFL draft, whatever position I played. I want to fall somewhere in that 3rd round where I can prove everybody wrong. I don't want the money up front. I want that money at the end.
Unless you're like a lineman on a team that don't have a quarterback, running back, or wide receiver. So you know
so that's right.
Cares, right? You're gonna be like
all
right, look at go ahead.
How tall is Cam Ward?
6'2", I think. I'm pretty sure he's 6. There was a lot of 6'2" in this draft.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
Let's see, Cam Ward. Let me pull him up. He is
6'2".
They got
he's 6. I think he's listed at 6'2". I think Sheduer's listed at 6'2". I think it just again, size is getting bigger. Everybody getting bigger. So now 6 foot is almost a minimum.
6'2", 218 pounds.
I mean, for me, last thing I'm gonna say about that is, for me, Ward and Sheduer are very similar.
I think Cam's a little more accurate. I think he's a little more accurate. I like his arm better than I like Sheduer's, but I like guys with passion, and Sheduer's got passion in bundles.
Okay.
Absolutely. Moving on to this team here, the Jets, New York Jets. I gave them a C. My notes are this. I just don't believe the Jets. I understand getting the offensive tackle in the first round, Armand Membo. He's a stud. I don't think he's the best offensive tackle at the position, but they got him. And then they got a tight end, Mason Taylor, in the second round. I think they should have went for the first round tight end, but they got him in the second round. But I don't know. To me, it seemed like they're really sold out on Justin Fields. You know, they didn't get a quarterback in this draft other than him. So I don't know what, I don't know. They're not going to make the playoffs.
No, they're not. We can already say that. The Jets
are the fan base right now. As I did a lot of research, their fan base they're split. Some are optimistic because that's all you can do. You can't get any worse, and the other ones are just skeptical, thinking like, this is going to just hurt us for the next couple of years because you're looking at Justin Fields. I don't know what have he shown them in his career that he's going to be their starting quarterback. So I don't know. So it is what it is. That's my
brother grasping at straws. They're grasping at straws. They went all in on old man Rodgers, and this is what they're left trying to deal with. Now, I don't know all the college players. I do know that LSU tight end. That is a big dude who, if there is going to be a breakout star early in the season from this draft, I think he's the early season breakout star. Especially with a bad or unknown quarterback, who's your safety valve? Your tight end is your safety valve. So he's going to get check down passes pretty quickly out the gate.
Absolutely. Coach D-Way, what you got for these Jets?
Who is because guys, I'm not the guy to ask because I'm not on the Justin Fields train. I'm just not.
I'm not either.
There's so many good quarterbacks. I mean, I like the kid from Washington. I like the kid in Chicago. I love C.J. Stroud. So, but I'm not the guy to talk about.
I mean,
it's a quarterback-driven league. So I don't see the Jets making the playoffs either. So
they had two fourth rounds and 2 5th-round pick, and they did not get a quarterback. And there was a lot of quarterbacks left at that position. One Sheduer Sanders.
I'm about to say that'd have been a good Sheduer selection.
and I don't know. I hate to keep beating the dead horse. I don't know why Pittsburgh didn't give Sheduer more of a look. So something's up.
Right.
Moving on to the Patriots. I gave them a B. I give them a B. The Patriots, they didn't really need a whole lot in the draft, in my opinion. Now, I don't know why they passed on Gentry. I thought because he was there, I thought they were going to snap him up, but they didn't. But at the end of the day, they did get a quarterback. They added protection to the quarterback. They got the offensive tackle and Will Campbell. I think that was a good one. And Travion Henderson, he's going to have to fight for RB1, but that creates competition in the locker room. I think maybe next year he will be the starting running back. So, that team already looked good to me. They just barely missed the playoffs. So, I think I like what they got going on at the organization over there. So, then you bring in Vrabel. So, what else to say? They're going to be all right.
Well, they shouldn't have got rid of the other guy, the coach.
Should never got rid of him.
Yeah.
Let's not go backwards. Let's go forward. Let's go forward.
Yeah.
All right, then. My team that I believe won the draft, as far as just the draft is concerned, is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Man, what can I say? Y'all, this pick for me, the trade, has nothing to do with what I think the talent level of Travis Hunter is, even though I think he's a great talent. But I think that this organization needed something. And for them to trade up just to get the excitement of getting getting Travis Hunter, the fans there at in Green Bay were just going on.
Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead, Jay.
Bruh, I mean, yes, they probably won the draft. I told this to Coach as well the other day while the draft was going on. I hate that he's going to that team. I really do, just because, man, I just talked about pressure on your shoulders. If Jacksonville is not successful on both sides of the ball, then everybody's going to throw him under the bus really quickly.
Yeah.
But they had a phenomenal draft, though. They won the draft. I agree with you on that one.
I'm a monster Travis Hunter guy, and I want to see him be a superstar in this league. I just don't think he's going to be able to, because he's just not going to have the meat on his body. So I hope I'm wrong. I really want him to be I want him to be a superstar, either on offense or defense. So I think,
and they got that other kid too. So let's just say, just for this conversation, we all know Travis is going to have to play the slot corner if he's going to play both sides of the ball. But if he plays starting corner, they have 2 rookie cornerbacks in the room right now.
Yeah.
So, man, they were in such disarray. They needed to do something, and I think they did as much as they could.
So look at so like you said, at wide receiver, they already got that rookie from last year. That's a stud wide receiver, Brian Thomas Jr. So he's out there. And then you look at them picking up Jordan Lewis from the Cowboys.
Yeah,
him as a cornerback. So he has help on both sides. So he's not do a whole lot, And then they add they got rid of Evan Ingram, tight end. They got rid of Christian Kirk. But like I said, getting Travis as a wide receiver. Then they adding on Johnny Munn and Hunter Long at a tight end position. I mean, like, man, they really did some work. You take what they did in the draft, what they did in the offseason, and the piece they had. I think they really, really did this thing. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Now all this goes to the captain of the ship, Trevor Lawrence. Hope that he stays healthy. So.
Still not a fan. So I guess that's why my heart isn't in Travis Hunter going to Jacksonville, because I'm still not a fan of the starting quarterback out there.
Yeah.
Right. Big D said, what's up, Big D?
I hear you, Big D. I hear you, man. I agree, Big D. Hey, listen here. Did Jacksonville draft Travis Hunter, and he went what number, 2 or 3?
2.
Yeah.
Okay. Did they draft him? Let's just be real for a minute, okay? Hoping he'd be good on offense, or hoping he would be good on defense, because you're not going to be great both sides of the ball.
Fact.
You're just not. So, what do you think that they needed more help, defensively or offensively?
Defensively, they needed that. Based on last year's numbers, they needed more help defensively, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think Jonathan said it best last week or the week before. I mean, he's solid at both. I think Jonathan had him a little overrated on one side or the other. He's solid at both. He's a solid 7-8 at both positions, but we're acting like he's a 10 at both positions.
No,
we've never seen. No, I know the media. We've never seen a 7-8 at both positions on both sides of the ball. So it's new. It's this exciting. It's Shohei Ohtani. I said this last time we talked about it. Yeah. But he's not Michael Irving. He's not Darrelle Revis. He's not these guys who are going to change the game by themselves. He's Alvin Harper. I loved when Jonathan G said that. He is a solid Pro Bowl caliber wide receiver, but he's not going to be a game changer. And I hope that he can have enough influence on both sides of the ball that he still gets the credit he deserves.
And that's the reason I like this pick, because they don't need him to be. You're looking at
that's awesome. I love that.
You already got Jordan over there on the other side, so they should fill those spots. And then, but the one thing we know about this kid, as small as he is, as thin as he is an athlete. He's an athlete
and smart, sharp. Man, he's sharp.
Strong. He got passion. He wanted. You know what I'm saying? He goes spitting and biting on folks. So
last thing on that is, I agree with Big D the barber. If they will use him correctly, and if they will not burn him out, and if they will be smart on how they play him, he can help them. He can help them immediately.
Yeah.
So
All right, y'all. Before we move on, y'all don't know who Big D the Barber is. Big D the Barber is
I know
actually
who Big D the Barber is.
that's my twin brother, man. So I want to give shout out to Big D. Hey, y'all, listen. Big D the Barber is a coach of the 18U 707 league, and they just won the TKO 707 tournament, man. So congratulations to Big D, a slimy elite, man.
Yeah,
slimy league boy.
I'm sure it was all coaching. I'm sure he out coached.
Oh man, yeah. He's been doing this thing. So Derek,
awesome.
Correct me if I'm wrong? I think the Slime League 707 is going to join the Triple D Wolverines in the offseason this year. So that was the team he was with before. They did great things, but then he went to the 707. They won last year. They won this year, and so they're going to join the Triple D Wolverines. And so, man, great, good job, Big D.
Big
Who
D,
knows, my twin brother can coach.
Yeah, Big D, we need to get together, man, and have a burger, man, because I'm an old coach from back in the good old days, and I want to pick your brain on what you're running on offense and defense. So,
facts. All right, y'all. This team here, the Indianapolis Colts, I gave them a B. There's just so much uncertainty around Anthony Richardson, and I don't think they did enough in this draft. I don't think there was a lot they could have done. They got Daniel Jones as a backup, so that I don't know what they're going on. They draft Riley Leonard from Notre Dame. I don't think he's a starting quarterback in his league, so I just don't know. Tyler Warren, the tight end, JT Tamalua, the edge rusher, were excellent picks for them. Great picks. But there's uncertainty around Jonathan Taylor. I mean, so just a lot of uncertainty around this squad. But at the end of the day, they was right there. They had some issues. He got a whooping last year and got benched.
Right.
So
this is what we do as sports fans. Don't get me wrong. We grade them. Somebody did better than somebody else. We think this team is going to go places, but we won't know the grades until next January.
Yeah.
We won't know what the real grades of any draft are until at least halfway through the first season.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse, but we've seen too many busts and we've seen too many gems in the rough, right? So we could sit here and say that they got this good edge rusher, they got this big tight end. Well, this big tight end could beat his woman next week and not be able to play again.
He said it. He went there.
The edge rusher could be in an accident. I'm just saying, no. I'm just saying. We don't know what kind of people these are until we see them being people.
What they say, the NFL stand for not for long.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, 6 years is a long career nowadays.
Yeah, well, I mean, the problem, Anthony Richardson.
I'm not a big Anthony Richardson. I don't think he's their answer either. But again, I mean, brother, at this point in time, some of these teams are just throwing darts at the wall and seeing which ones stick.
Yeah.
So
I know it sounds like a broken record, but I'd take Sheduer over Anthony Richardson right now.
I would too. Amen.
To give a background to have so most of my grades are graded by what they did in the offseason, the free agency trigger, right? And then did they at the least fill positions that they needed?
Right. I love that. And that's the only way we can grade. That's the only way we can.
They got, and then based on, because I did a lot of research, and based on the position they did fill, was there better players they could have got based on that? You know, because a lot of times these guys, they get these calls, the players get these calls, and they may be tied up. They may not have a chance to talk to a team that wanted to draft them or whatever, and so that the other team had to go with the next man available because this kid is tied up. But like I say, these NFL teams got to do some work, and unfortunately, the Colts did not do a whole lot of work to add to their roster. But that is what it is.
Right.
Cincinnati Bengals, they didn't really need much. This team just gonna run it back. They're gonna run it back next year. They just had they know what they did. They buttoned up their defense.
I'm about to say all 7 picks should have been defensive. They don't need anybody on offense at all.
Exactly, they didn't need nothing. But they did really do a good job on their defense. So and that's they will make the playoff. This team will make the playoff.
It's another reason for Coach to root for the Bengals. They got his big A&M edge rusher. That's right, number 17.
Yeah.
So again, brother, they are. It's crazy how good of a team they are. by how many points they gave up last year. So all of their picks should have been pass rushers and pass coverages.
Yeah.
I want to make one statement. I root for the Bengals for one reason and one reason only. And it's because I think they have the best wide receiver in all of football.
Amen.
That's why I root for the Bengals.
Absolutely. I can agree with that. So I just want to poke a bear real quick. I know what you said, Jada, about the A&M guy, but I'm not sold on Shamar Stewart.
But I'm sold on his size. I'm sold on his speed. And the only thing, anybody who played any sport at any level, the only thing we can't coach is size.
Okay.
So if the coaches at Cincinnati are worth their salary, then they're going to make him worth that. He's got size and he's got speed. They should be able to teach him everything else he needs to do.
Yeah, but they like I said, they got the edge rush. They got Shamar Stewart. They got Demetrius and Renite Jr. from South Carolina. I really like him. They got Barrett Gardner for Clemson, and then they got that's all the defense players they got. And they got a guard from Georgia, and they got the Texas Tech guy, Taj Brooks, a running back. So, like I said, they got some things on defense. They be all right.
And it's hopefully this thing too, and we've all been through this where the younger guy comes in, and so you find more out of yourself. So if these younger guys competing for these positions can bring out more in the defensive guys who were there, then it's still I think they won the draft. Me personally, I think the Bengals won the draft.
I like it.
What's up, Corey? What's up,
Corey? What's up, Corey? So this team right here. Let me say this. Congratulations to all the men that were selected in this year's NFL draft and that was drafted to the Miami Dolphins. Congratulations, you are now a professional football player. But other than that, this team did not do a great job at all.
Come on, tell us how you really feel, EC.
They changed some lives. That's the best thing they did. So C- was the lowest grade I could give in this draft. And man, did they really screw this thing up. So.
There's going to be these talks this season about can Alabama beat Miami? That's how bad Miami's fixing to be. But I agree completely.
So there's nothing much to see here. I mean, just out of Kenneth Grant, DT out of Michigan, Janiyah Savamonea out of Arizona, Jordan Phillips out of Maryland, Jason Marshall Jr. out of Florida, Dante Trader Jr. out of Maryland, Ollie Gordon out of Oklahoma State, Quinn Ewers, Texas. He shouldn't have went. He shouldn't have got drafted.
He shouldn't have went anywhere.
I'm sorry. I'm a Texas fan, but man, he shouldn't have went anywhere. And then Zeke Biggs, their last pick for Georgia Tech. But this team is still 50-50, in my opinion, whether they can make the playoffs or not. They just got to take that same team and do what they got to do and just get back in. But it's 50-50 for me at this point.
It's Tua. Is Tua going to play? Is he going to stay healthy? Is he going to risk his life for a mediocre team? I mean, Tua is phenomenal. I love him. I even got Coach rooting for Miami last year.
That's right.
Had him make a bet on Miami last year. On the game Tua went down. This guy, I wasn't even a fan of him in Alabama. Don't get me wrong, but he sold me, and I'm a huge fan. But man, at a certain point, brother, I don't want him to get another concussion. I don't want him out there.
I love how you say it's on Tua. Tua, will you risk your life for a mediocre team? You go.
Right, I hear you.
Yeah. So here we go. The Miami Dolphin coach will get fired at the midway point of the season.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they're going to call Big D over here in Dallas and bring him on as the head football coach there.
I heard all these rumors about this 7-on-7 coach. They're going to get him in there.
Derek, come on, man. Get that resume ready, bro.
You hear that, Big D? Get your resume ready. Miami calling. You're going to take your balance to South Beach, baby, and I'm rolling with you.
Oh, my God. We all going with you. We all doing FairWeather fan on site.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying?
I'll be a water boy for you guys, whatever y'all need, D.
Make sure you get Jonathan G as your assistant.
What's his name? Gets Mike. He gets fired at the midway point of the Dolphins.
Yeah. Mike Daniels, Coach Mike Daniels. Yeah. It's about that time.
I thought you would enjoy that.
Yes, Jonathan. That's exactly what's going to happen
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Troy was a bigger dude, though. I guess,
Yeah. Yeah.
he looked like a caveman, so he might have been able to absorb the concussions a little better. Tua ain't as cavey. So, man, I don't want him to take another one. I really don't. I really don't.
Wow. All right, then. The Las Vegas Raiders, I gave them A-.
The Raiders.
The only thing about the Raiders, I'm just pissed they didn't get Sheduer. I just thought they was going to get Sheduer. That's the one I wanted from them. But they are completely 100% sold on Geno Smith. They gave him a decent contract. I mean, they just sold on him. And I can't be mad at this team because they felt like they got what they wanted. They got their guy, their quarterback in the offseason. They went and got Ashton Gentry first round. They running back. You already see what Brock Bowers is going to bring to the tight end core, and he can tight end receiver. So then their defense is getting better. You still got Mason Crosby, let's scan the world out, scared everybody. So I mean, they got a good solid squad. You got a new coach, and Pete Carroll. Then you got Tom Brady up there. So that Pete Carroll, Seattle's connection, Geno coming from Seattle. We'll see. We'll see what happens with this team. But I get them A-. So,
I think they did pretty good. And again, if I had to play for a coach, I mean, Pete Carroll would be a blast to play for. I just get that. So, and I think he's still got a little bit of gas in the tank. So I'm rooting for Geno. I'm rooting for Pete. I'm rooting for Ashton. I'm hoping the Raiders can get it going.
So, Corey, I thought about that 100 times over.
Agree.
So what I think would happen in their decision making is that they don't want to have to be pressured to start this kid because of Deion effect. Because you can't have this because everybody want to see Sheduer play, and you get him in that squad. I'm with you. That'd have been a great person to learn behind, maybe next 2 years. But anybody that's going to get him on that squad, they're going to be forced to let's see this guy. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't think they wanted that attention. So I'm still mad they didn't get him. But at the end of the day, I understand if that was their rationale. I'm not putting words in their mouth. I can't speak for them, but that's the only thing I can think of to make them make sense why they didn't get Sheduer. Because Tom Brady is his mentor. That's my biggest thing. Tom Brady is his mentor. That'd been the perfect place for him to go. So.
I'm still not going to be surprised if Sheduer ends up there in some shape, form, or fashion in the next 18 months. So.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, now we're going to the NFC, starting off with these lovely, lovely, lovely Giants. Look, that's another team I think that actually won the draft. Now, I don't know how to play out.
Some degree.
They got everything they wanted out of this draft. They really, really did. Now, how it's going to, like J-Dub said, will he really, really show up on the field next year is left to be seen. But, I mean, they went and got a dual Carter. You know what I'm saying? They got Cam Scatterbo. They got Jackson Dart. You got Jameson Winston. So it's another big quarterback room. Jackson, well, we know Jameson Winston ain't gonna make no starting job.
Especially when it snows up there, man, he's gonna be so grateful for like 6 games. It's gonna be wild. I swear.
And so we still haven't confirmed whether or not he changed his prayer. He asked the Lord to deliver him from pick sixes, but not from picks itself. So so back and make that clear. Otherwise, But it's so funny though, and then I say this out of love. I want to know what the energy is going to be like because we know Russell Wilson in his faith, and we know Jameson Wilson in his faith. And I can only imagine what type of energy. But Russell Wilson is more quiet with his faith. He kind of has this standard, but Jameson Wilson is just a real loud person, and he's going to proclaim his faith out loud. So I want to know what type of balance if those both guys stay. One of them going to have to be reserved. But then we got to throw Jackson Dart in the middle. So we're going to see how this quarterback competition is going to pan out. But great job, Giants. But they do need a coach. I'm not a fan of Brian Daboll. So
I'm not either. I'm glad you said that. I am not a fan of Brian Daboll.
Let's get rid of this guy and get somebody else. Chicago Bears. The Bears.
The Bears.
Colson Loveland. I like it.
I like it too.
Running back Kyle Minagi is slated to be pretty good. So I give them an A-. They're not going to make the playoffs though, but I get maybe.
I think they could. I think they could. The way they played last season, especially in the first half of the season, they were in most games for most of the game, if that makes sense, right? It didn't get ugly till the last, 6 minutes of the game. So now you have this ginormous tight end. Again, I'm gonna say it again. You've given Caleb Williams a 6'6" safety valve.
Yeah.
For all the times when it breaks down or he's not sure of a throw downfield or this hook route didn't work out, you got a 6'6" dude that I can underhand pass it to for 10 yards. So I think the Bears, I think that tight end pick is phenomenal. And I'm a big fan of Caleb Williams. I'm not a big fan of the Bears, so this is not me being a Bears fan. I actually been a Bears hater for most of my life, but I think this was the best thing they could have done for Caleb in the long run. I really do.
Hey, Jerron, you like my grade? Jerron for John. Jerron is a big Titans fan. So I just want you to know that was my grade for the Titans. I gave him a grade A. Good job.
Who got the Bears coaching job?
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson, yep. Love it. Perfect coach for Caleb, especially with this big tight end coming in.
Yeah.
I think he's this year's Brock Bowers. I really do.
Yeah.
Okay,
like
cool.
Cool. Going on to the ATL, I gave them a B- for their draft grade. They're still a young
team.
Who
they drafted.
Optimistic. They gave up lots of points to their defense, so they had a good defense approach to the draft, but I'm still 50-50 on this squad. I'm not familiar with their players either, but I can pull them up real quick. So the Falcons, Jalen Walker, edge out of Georgia. They got 2 back-to-back edges in the first round, the 15th and the 26th. So like I said, they're buttoning up their defense, so that's a good job on there. James Pierce out of Tennessee, he's a stud.
He is a stud, yeah.
Yeah. So they was able to get those guys. They went with safety in the 3rd round, Xavier Watts out of Notre Dame, and then Billy Bowman Jr. out of Oklahoma. Oklahoma had a rough year, so I'm not knowing what that's going to feel like. But and they got Jackson Nelson out of Wisconsin, offensive tackle. So, like I said, they button up their defense. Offense is what it is. So,
and I'm a big believer. If you don't know what to do, you need beef on the line and defenders trying to kill people.
Exactly.
Couldn't say it better. Shout out to my brother from another mother, Rodney Trice, man. He and I talked the other day. He said he's a big Falcons fan. He said the Falcons draft was phenomenal. One of their better ones. He's super excited about their draft. So, and he's kind of in their camp, and he follows that stuff. So we'll see.
All right. Moving on to this team right here. There's a whole lot this team going to need. I gave him a C. These are my notes. It said I like the offensive weapons with how you saying it? Tatario McMillan, Jimmy Horn Jr. I love the 2 running wide receivers they got. They got Rico Dowdle in the offseason. But I felt like they should have gotten an offensive lineman, which they didn't. They have to make me believe, but they're not going to make the playoffs. They need somebody to help protect Bryce Young, but they didn't get any help for him.
And they didn't get any. Thank you.
Man, Bryce is. I'm really nervous for Bryce's health.
Absolutely,
I'm really nervous for him.
He will run and throw the ball away before you take a hit. So
right into the arms of a defending cornerback, he'll run and throw the ball away. Right?
Exactly. He is not going to take no hit.
That's killing me.
Nor should he.
No, he shouldn't.
They lost a lot of players. I mean, you lose your quarterback. You lose both your stud wide receivers, Lockett and Metcalf gone. But they got Sam Darnold and they got Cooper Kupp. I don't know. Sam Darnold showed us who he was at the end of the season in the playoffs last year. Cooper Kupp, mark my words, he's already seen his best days.
Yeah,
1,000%.
So they will not make the playoffs. So
Seattle will not make the playoffs.
No, they won't. They're fighting for mediocrity. And Sam Darnold is so I like Sam Darnold. I'm not going to say I'm a huge fan. He's a great bus driver, and he drove the bus for Minnesota. And he did a very good job until they asked him to win the game.
Yep, that's right.
Last week of the season.
There you go.
And the first playoff game, right? They asked him, hey, man, we need you to win a game. And he's probably in the huddle saying, man, that's not me. I can't win a game. I cannot lose it for you.
So we got to ask ourselves this question: is it the short bus, the long yellow bus, or the $1 million charter bus that he drove? I don't know which one.
He drove the $1 million charter bus with all them superstars on his team.
Okay.
I mean, the short bus would be the Cowboys fans last year. I'm sorry, that was too easy. I'm Lord forgive me. Be with the pygmies. So Sam Darnold is a solid starting NFL quarterback. He's not going to win the game for you, but he's not going to lose it for you either. He's Joe Flacco on a worse team. So Seattle is putting their faith in a guy who just had a career year because he's surrounded with offensive weapons. Yeah. Seattle's not making the playoffs too. I think there's about 4 teams I think we can write down right now, and I think we'd all be correct.
Where did Tyler Lockett end up?
Tyler Lockett, he ended up going to the Titans.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they did a good job. And then, of course, we know DK went to Pittsburgh.
Right.
Arizona Cardinals gave them a B+. They did the right things in this draft. They beefed up their defense, but I'm still not seeing the team being anything other than what they've always been.
Middle of the pack. They're a middle of the pack team right now.
They're going to start off good, and then all of a sudden, we don't know what happened. And then
they're an 8, 9, 10 win team.
And it's so crazy because the conference they're in is not a hard conference to win.
No, it's the easiest conference in football right now.
So I don't know. San Francisco, this team, I gave them A. They hold up. So in my opinion, they really deserve a B-. But when I watched this thing, what they created in their draft was a lot of training camp competition. They got every slot filled up. They had a lot of draft picks. They got every slot filled up.
They had so many draft picks.
Yeah. So they're going to create a lot of awesome competition, so ain't nobody safe, including the quarterback. So I mean, I really, really like what they did. I think they got the kid. Who they get as a quarterback?
Curtis Roark. Is that who you're telling me is going to take Brock Purdy's job?
Yeah, Curtis Roark out of Indiana. Hey, he's pretty decent. He was pretty.
I like how you just used pretty decent to describe a professional athlete. He's pretty decent. I hear you. He's a 7th round pick.
But you still got to remember San Francisco's defense is, and they got so many weapons on offense.
They got so many weapons. That's right. And I know they just gave George Kittle the highest tight end contract in history.
They did. And then with some of the other shining lights we've seen coming out of there. So I mean, they just need to run it back, get healthy. That was a big issue last year. Get healthy and run it back, and then we'll see.
They're a playoff contender. They're a contender.
They'll win that conference. I mean,
yeah. All right, the team everybody's been waiting on, the Dallas Cowboys. I gave them a B+. They seem to be completely excited about everything they did. But winners never
they always do.
They're all out. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Coach. Every move Jerry Jones makes is and I love Jerry, and I would run my team the way I would want to, regardless of what people said, and that's what he does. But every decision Jerry makes, it comes out in the media like this is the decision that's going to win us the next 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the question is so far I love their first. I love Tyler Booker, Alabama.
Love Booker. Love Booker.
I think Donovan, I can't even say his name, Azaruku, whatever. I think
close enough.
Can he be the other side edge rusher now that old boy is gone? So we don't know.
Where did he come?
He came out of Boston College.
Okay.
That's a team that started off real good last year, and then they just fell off. But he's a 2nd round pick, so I mean he was pretty good. Cornerback Siobhan Real from East Carolina. Don't know nothing about the squad. I didn't know there was a team called East Carolina, so I'm sorry y'all for my. But Jalen Blue, is he the running back? Everybody's saying that this kid has the Ashton Gentry size. 5'9", 200+ pound guy. I don't know. Jonathan said the top 4 picks were really good picks, though. He liked the Cowboys, and Jonathan G. He's like me. He's not gonna shy away if you don't like somebody. Cowboys. So he said their top 4 picks was okay. So I'll leave it at that. What you guys think? Is Jalen Blue the next piece? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But at that size of a running back, because, as the lines keep getting bigger, some of the running backs keep getting smaller because you can sneak through the gaps, right? So we're just going to have to see how durable he is, how gritty he is. He's got to avoid the linebackers or his career's not going to be very long. If a semi-truck hits a VW Beetle, it's not going to be pretty for the Beetle.
So this kid, he went to the combine, but the things that I think he should have competed in, he didn't compete in. Like, I want to see him in the broad jump, not too care about the vertical jump, and I definitely want to see him in the bench press. He's a 196-pound running back at 5'9". Like, how many 225 reps can he get up? And he didn't compete in that. So that kind of, I don't know how strong he is. You can say he's strong. Everybody keeps saying he's strong, he's strong, he's strong. Okay. All right. Then.
Let me tell you how jaded I am right now at ESPN, right? If you're on the draft board, Jaden Blue is 5'9", 196, okay? When you go to the Cowboys roster, he's 6 foot 202 on ESPN. It's the same thing. So this kid grew 3 inches since the draft. I'm just saying. That's why you can't trust any of the sizes you hear on ESPN.
Absolutely. They put him in. Taylor, they got a little lift in their shoes. Who knows, man?
Well,
I was trying to pull up. I'm sorry. I was trying to pull up his college stats because I want to know, because I didn't watch a whole lot of Texas football, the University of Texas football this year, and I want to know what he did against college players before we start talking about what he can do against NFL players.
Well, all I'm gonna say is the Cowboys picking up Booker. They had to have something that they had to figure out a way to replace. He's not as good, but filling the void for Zach Martin.
Right.
Okay. And if Dallas is going to have a shot at being competitive, and they're going to have a shot at winning a few games, they're going to have some guys up front, open some holes, protect Dak. And so their first pick, and the edge rusher, second pick. So we'll see. I mean,
y'all, Jaden Blue's head and neck are the same size. If you go to his college photo, it's all in plane with each other.
Yeah, and I'm not mad.
Big neck. That's a big neck, y'all. I'm just saying.
I'm a little biased of him because he came out of Texas, so
I am too, even though I don't know anything about him.
Yeah.
He never carried the ball he carried the ball about 14, 15 times a game.
Yeah.
He got anywhere from 50 to 80 yards a game on average. So, again, he could be something, but man, it's just, it's true across all sports, but it's especially true in football. Everybody is so much bigger at the next level. They're huge. They're monsters.
Facts.
So you got to see how a guy like this, even Saquon, right? And Saquon's probably the best running back in the NFL right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 6 foot running back, but he knows how to skirt around people. I can't quit watching the spin and the backwards hurdle. I keep watching it over and over. Can he do that, right? Can this kid do that? And we won't know till he shows us.
Right.
All right, the last team that didn't make the playoff that we're going to talk about is the New Orleans Saints. God, this team is terrible.
They're bad, and I love them.
And that's all I have in my notes. This team, the only upside is that they got our guy from they got Kevin Banks Jr. That's the only thing I got. But they won. They didn't do what they need to do at quarterback. I didn't like they got Tyler Show at quarterback. So that means telling me that they really, really are trusting Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Got hurt. So I don't know. This team right here this is a bad team. And I was a fan. Y'all know I was a fan of Derek Carr, and I've been a fan of Derek Carr, but this team is just this what they constructed here is terrible. He said Blue follows blocks and has good speed.
That's phenomenal. I can't wait to see it. Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
But at the end of the day, the Saints didn't pick up Sheduer early, in my opinion, because they didn't want to pay him.
Yeah, absolutely. But like I said, he was there. So when Derek Carr got hurt, that was the talk of all sports. This is a perfect landing spot for Sheduer. Now I was screaming, please no, God, no, please no, don't go. I don't want him to. I don't want him to go in his career. But at the end of the day, it probably would have made sense.
I would have liked to seen him go to New Orleans with their second. I think they had 2 third-round picks. I would have liked to see him go there with their second third-rounder.
I like that, Jay.
But he didn't, and now again, Cleveland's going to be strange. We ain't trying to go back to that. The Saints dropped the ball on that one, I believe. I think that would have been a good city for a big personality too. New Orleans is a big personality as a city. Sheduer would have fit right in. But yeah, so we'll see, man. All these grades, I mean, somebody be writing them down so we can regrade them week 12.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Let's do that. We'll follow back on this. Let me see where, because I think they got Tyler Show before the Browns picked up. Let's see. Yeah, they got Tyler Show second round, so they could easily. So.
And the only thing I know about Tyler is he, again, I know he went to Louisville, and I know he's a Peyton Manning size. He's a big dude. He's 6'5", 6'6", isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody? Yeah. Okay. So again, I don't know.
Trevor Lawrence kind of kid.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, if you're gonna have a big offensive line, you got to have a big quarterback, or you got to have Drew Brees. Those are only 2 options.
He said, yeah, that's no, seriously. He's 7 years. I think.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, Tyler. He's been there for a minute. Yeah, he's about to.
That one I'm gonna type in. I'm gonna look up.
Jonathan, tell us how you really feel, man. Come on.
He's been in college for a minute. There, Tyler Show. Yeah,
Tyler Show is gonna be 26 years old this year. Listen.
So they just wanted a grown man. They needed another veteran.
Crazy. Yeah, they need another on-field coordinator, I guess. I don't know what that's all about.
All right, man. So those are the out of those. So I mean, out of those teams, I don't think there's only a few of them I think that can make the playoffs. I think Cincinnati make the playoffs. I think the 49ers can make the playoffs. I think those only the Dallas Cowboys 50-50 if they can make the playoffs right now. And those are the only ones I think that has a chance. That don't mean these other teams won't, but I think those are teams who have a chance because you look at the teams that are made the playoffs. These some bad teams, man. These some tough teams, man. I mean, these teams. I mean, and then they all seen going looking at the Buffalo Bills. I mean,
I was getting ready to ask you.
They won the whole offseason, in my opinion, for what they did.
Amen.
I mean, so that just goes. I don't even say nothing on that. Baltimore Ravens, they added some pieces, running back. They got more depth, which thing they struggled with last year. So I gave them A minus. Pittsburgh Steelers, listen, they got the quarterback I wanted. The kids you talked about, Coach Will Howard, Ohio State. I've been screaming this from the rooftop.
That's a good pick for them.
I'm like, get Will Howard, and they got him at the round. I thought they was going to get him at. Well, I actually
good pick for them.
Third round or later, and they got him. He's going to be their franchise quarterback. He's a big kid. He's a smart kid.
I'm sure they're
okay. So
I'm sure they're looking at the Ben Roethlisberger rose-colored glasses. You know, as they see him. You know.
That's an excellent pick. The Texans, they're going the right direction. They just need to get healthy. We already know about the Texans. They lose Stephon, but Stephon getting old. But they got some pieces.
He's not even the Stephon version we saw in Buffalo.
Exactly. Let some folks say it. Some folks say that Kansas City won the draft.
What they do? So
they just added some pieces. They didn't add too many names to their squad. I didn't want to dive into all their draft picks because, first of all, congratulations to those teams, the guys they picked. We know what Kansas City is. We know how they're coached. We know what type of thing they're on. They're going to make some household names out of every player they got. So let's see them do their thing.
Good stuff,
Chargers, man, Sean McVay. I mean, not Chargers, but I'm thinking about
Rams.
The Rams is next, but the Chargers. The Chargers. I like the Chargers, but the Chargers always get me hyped up just for them to do nothing. I gave them a B in the draft, but what they did last year in the draft.
I'm gonna tell you why the Chargers are so always do what they do because J-Dub has put the bad mojo spell on Justin Herbert. So that's why the Chargers can't get out of their own way because J-Dub's put the bad spell on. So
I'll wear that badge with honor. Listen, if your last name is Herbert and you don't pronounce it A-Bear, then me and you don't have anything to talk about.
I mean, they went out and got the running back out of North Carolina, Marion Hampton.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no other sexy names on this thing. When I say sexy names, I'm not meaning the physique. I mean the fact that we don't know these players.
Yeah,
that's right.
Jameer Campbell out of Oregon, we know him. But other than that, I mean, you're talking about South Carolina, South Auburn, Syracuse, Pittsburgh, Clemson, Florida. Like none of these teams that we're really watching last. But Lad McClunkey is all they need.
What?
That wide receiver is about to be the next Cooper Kupp. And man, I'm trying to tell you, man, I'm expecting this kid at some point in his career, hopefully he will win the Triple Crown. This kid is tough. That kid is tough. So, like I said, get some depth to that squad, and they should be all right. The Rams, Sean McVay was so excited about everything they did. And since he's excited, I'm excited. So I gave him a B+ just on excitement of the coach.
Yeah, and I agree with that. That was actually one of the teams I did look at for this podcast to get a little bit better. And they picked they were very specific at the positions they picked. They had a hole, they found that position. So, and Sean McVay, I'm not a huge fan of him, but I think he's one of the smarter head coaches, especially given his relationship with the GM and the ownership, that they fill the holes he tells them they need to fill. So if he's excited, I'm excited for him.
I don't know how Josiah Stewart went that far down. I still don't understand how they went that far down. They traded away their first round.
It's a size thing.
Yeah. They traded
an edge rusher at 6'1", which he could be great, but that's a size thing.
But he's gonna be all right. He's gonna be all right.
I think so too.
They traded around that first round, and then they went the second round and got a tight end, Terrence Ferguson. So I think they was headed in the right direction. I'm not too fan of them. Anybody trading away a first round, I'm just not a fan of it. But they could have got a better tight end in the first round. But anyway, that's what they did. So I can't get mad at it. But they like it. I love it.
The Rams will make the playoffs again.
No, absolutely they will.
The Minnesota Vikings, this team worries me. I think they're just going to fall apart. And I feel so sorry for JJ up there. I don't know what this team can do and what they can do and what they have done to get better. Who's their quarterback?
That's what I was just fixing to say. Do we know who's even hiking the ball right now?
It's not the kid from Michigan, is it?
They didn't draft the quarterback, so I don't know who went over
No,
there.
They didn't draft anybody. Unless Jonathan beats me to it before I get there. I'm trying to figure it out right now.
Let's pull this up. Vikings.
Or are they going all in with J.J. Abrams? Is it J.J.'s turn to go all in?
Is that the kid from Michigan?
Oh,
I'm sorry, J.J. McCarthy. I said an author's name. J.J. McCarthy. Is that are they going all in with him finally?
Obviously so.
Okay. So again, I think he can be a stud.
Yeah, because they got Sam Howell as a backup, and they got Brett Ripon, and Max Bright. He's still in the league. God.
Man, all of them youngsters too.
Boy,
28's the oldest person in the quarterback room.
So I think with the thing of like, if JJ can give Sam Darnold a career year, why can't he do this for JJ McCartney?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that's their thought process. So we'll see.
And they have to coach JJ in such a manner where he doesn't have to win games for him. He just has to make sure he doesn't lose any games for him. Okay, that's the way they need to. That's the way they need to work that deal with him.
Exactly. I can back row with that. The Philadelphia Eagles. They're the champs. They had a lot of draft picks too. I don't know how the champs get all these draft picks.
I know, right?
This is a body of work they've done for years of getting these picks, trading, getting all these picks built up to this year. But now you win during the championship and it's going to be a fight in training camp.
Well, lots of draft picks, but most of them, correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, most of them were in the 5th and 6th round. So it's not like they had, which is awesome, right? To get the, we're talking about the best 500 kids in the nation.
They got three fifth round and 4 6 rounds. So
okay. So they were able to avoid the what's the word I'm looking for? The hubbub of making sure we get the right person, and they could just pick people to compete, right? Yeah. So I think they did great too.
Shout out to Eagle Bruce up there, I'm gonna tell y'all, and y'all can boo me off the set. The Super Bowl 2026 is the Eagles to win or lose.
It's the same person who told us the 49ers were going to win the Super Bowl last year. So let's put a little grain of salt, you know what I'm saying?
But that the Jets would make the playoffs.
But I agree with you on this one, though. I think the Eagles are certainly they're almost guaranteed a spot back to the NFC Championship, right? There's too many things that happen from that point on.
Who's better than they are? I mean,
exactly.
They're loaded. They're loaded.
Yeah. They are the NFC. They are the NFC dog, and it's going to be tough to dethrone them. Whoever ends up trying.
Yeah, get EC back with us. Okay, come on.
No, so I'm looking at what Jonathan's saying. He said Overshawn recovering and Parsons getting double should help the rookie edge rusher. So even though, I
agree with that.
Cowboys had a really good draft. Will McClay has done it again. Jonathan G is a big fan. He thinks Will McClay should be the coach of that squad. So.
Bro, I'm so sorry. Who is the coach of the Cowboys right now?
I forget his name. Some dude. Some dude.
It's Brian Schottenheimer, maybe.
Schottenheimer, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember that.
I gave the Eagles an A+ for everything they did.
Yep.
I couldn't give them anything other than A+ because they're the champs. So they're the team to beat. Tampa Bay, they defense approach in the draft.
Lost him again, Jay.
But brother, I did not look at Tampa Bay. Again, when you need so much without looking at it, I hope they picked beef and defense. I hope that's where they went until you find that signal caller or that running back that can carry your team. Man, just keep getting bigger, keep getting stronger, and keep getting meaner.
Is Baker still there?
Oh yeah. He's still there. They didn't get no quarterback out of the draft.
No,
wide receiver from Ohio State, which is good. Then they went 2 defensive backs and then 2 edge rushers.
And my Baker fanhood, I'm sorry, Coach, it goes up and down. I like this kid's attitude. I like his gumph, but man, he misses a lot of wide open passes too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he's one of those guys that when he's hot, you do not want to play them. You do not want to play them. But know when that is, you know.
That's right.
That's the problem. So
Baker's one of the quarterbacks, and when you're looking at needing a quarterback, there's never another better quarterback that you can get when he's out
there. Until that Tom Brady comes out that you didn't know about, right?
Exactly. So
agreed.
The Commanders. This is another team that's going to run it back. Listen, they're going to do their thing. I gave them a B-. They didn't do too much in the draft, but I think they got the pieces they want. And
I don't think they had a lot of picks. Did they? Only I think they traded some away. I think they only probably picked 5 people. Yeah,
they got 5.
Okay.
Jax Ulbrich out from Oregon, the offensive tackle out of Oregon, which they needed somebody a little help.
Right.
And after that, they went with a cornerback and Trey Amos from Mississippi, Jalen Lane from Virginia Tech, wide receiver. They went linebacker at Kane Medrano out of UCLA, and a running back, Jakari Croskett Merritt out of Arizona. So
I don't remember. I'm as big a fan of Jaden Daniels as I am. Didn't get to see him play a lot. I don't remember how much time he spent on his backside. Was that a problem for Washington last year? Did Jaden get sacked a lot? Okay, good.
He was running.
Yeah,
right.
Boy. So
was he running because he had to, or was he running because it was set? Right, that's the difference.
I mean, probably because he had to. I mean, a lot of times.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously, when you quarterback run, you want this is a lead where the quarterback needs to be still. This is not college football, right? But it became a thing. It became part of the playbook, right? But getting that offensive tackle first round should
that's a big deal.
Cover up that side that they weak on. So so that's what they're gonna need that right there.
Y'all call Vegas. We're putting some money on the Bengals and the Commanders that will be in the Super Bowl next year.
No, but I'd like to see the Eagles play the Commanders in the championship game. No, that'd be a good game.
That'd be awesome.
All right, the Detroit Lions, man. I gave them a B+. I think they sold up, got a little bit more depth on the defense. They always had a great defense for the last couple of years. But then
bottom line is, as he's froze, they lost most of their coordinators, Jay.
Right. I know that's hard.
That has to be something there about that,
Right, and but I think their head coach is the loudest personality in the room, so he's gonna find more coordinators that get on his page. The defense is, man, it's been solid for 4 or 5 years now. So if they made it even better, then that takes more pressure off of the offense, which is crazy because the previous generation of the Detroit Lions, we can all sit here and remember, were all offense, averaging 45 points a game and can't make the playoffs. How crazy is that? And now this Detroit, you got Jared Goff bus driving, phenomenal. And Jahmyr Gibbs is the third best running back in the league right now, I would say, maybe number two. So it's just crazy how they were the best offensive team for a decade, and now they're about to be the best defensive team for a decade, but they can't make it happen at the same time.
Yeah, I like what you said. I see Jared Goff, who I like.
I like Jared.
I think he's going to finish his career kind of as a Joe Flacco.
Right.
Kind of a steady Eddie, nothing special. Goff, toothpick and pads.
Corey, tiny little fella.
Corey was laying in wait as we give it. He couldn't wait to get to the Detroit team. So
Corey,
I gave him a B+. But Corey said he said he wasn't too happy with him. So
Corey, I think Jared Goff's going to really struggle with losing his offensive coordinator. I really do.
I would have liked Sheduer to go here to play behind Jared for a couple years.
Wow.
This is something I actually said to my wife while we were watching the draft. I think it was like their third or fourth round pick. I happened to have it on. I was like, man, here's where Sheduer needs to go. But obviously it didn't happen. But that's where I would have liked to see him go.
I don't know what, because like I'm with Corey. They needed some edge rushers. They got a defensive tackle on their first with Talik Williams from Ohio State. They went offensive guard. They went wide receiver, back to offensive guard, then back to edge rushers. They had chances to get a lot of edge rushers in the second and third round, but they wait to the fifth round. The sixth round to get edge rushers. So I'm hearing what he's saying on that. So when you're looking at what they need, I don't know, because if they would have got the edge rushers in the early rounds, like Corey said, then Sheduer would have been sitting there at 6th round. So yeah, they could have got him. So
right,
but they didn't want him.
No, apparently most people didn't. We're gonna see what that means. I don't know.
Oh gosh,
said we definitely. Right.
Come on, everything wouldn't be as good. Yeah.
Oh, they can hire Dion as a special coach, and listen, y'all watch what's finna happen over the next 3 seasons.
Whoa.
Green Bay. Ooh-wee. Matthew Golden. That's all I can say. That was a shocker. I didn't think Matthew Golden would be sitting there. When he was sitting there, it was a no-brainer for Green Bay. The fastest guy in the combine is going to catch the balls from Jordan Love. I don't care what they do else after that.
Yeah, and Corey, he's not small. He's not small. He's got a huge leap. So at some point in time, Jordan Love can just keep throwing it, and he can outrun everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
And J-Dub was heavy on Green Bay, and he finally got me drinking the Kool-Aid. And I'm gonna tell y'all, Jordan Love's a freaking star.
Yeah, he is.
All right, then. Texas is our last team on the list. Not Texas, but Denver Broncos. Jahdae Brown. I gave him a B. I gave him a B. I like what they get out with getting Jahdae Brown. So we'll go back to Denver. That's the cornerback out of Texas. So anytime a guy get Texas first round, they're going to be my favorite team. But this team is already good. I mean, I've given Sean Payton so much flack. I've been throwing darts at him for a minute. And sometimes you just gotta eat humble pie and give credit where credit's due. They're going to be all right team. So, and that's all I'm going to say about Sean Payton and his Denver Broncos. But I like the cornerback Jahdae Brown.
So all I'll say is this: you're going to have Sean. It's going to be his second or third year with Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Second
year, yeah.
You got Sean with Bo for the second year. They're going to be tough.
Yeah, and they got better. The Broncos got better through the whole season last year.
No, 1,000% for sure. Yeah.
He said he can't stand on the Packers. I'm sorry. Corey didn't want to leave a comment on the Packers. I asked him to think about the Packers grade. He said, and Coach Wright think Philly heading back. He think Philly's going to head back to the championship.
I mean, if they want it, if they're hungry enough to get another one, they're going to get another one.
If they don't want it, they don't deserve to go if they don't want it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My point being, if they're into it and they want to win another ring, nobody's going to be able to get in their way.
Facts. They're a tough team to beat. Y'all, this was a lot. This was fun. We actually got through all 32 teams. Can we believe that?
I can't believe we did all 32.
All 32 teams, y'all. So, man, that good job, guys. He said, well, you're right. They can't get hurt. So, So, exactly. Detroit is another contender up there. So, yeah. But, y'all, man, that is it. Y'all got any final words, man? We got all 32 teams, draft grades. Shannon Sharp has been screaming the Lakers in 5, but not the 5 he thought.
Shannon Sharp,
they're going to lose. They're going to lose in 5.
Shannon Sharp makes LeBron losing almost worth it, just so he will be wrong. And Coach can tell you about my evolution of my LeBron fanhood. I was the biggest fan in the world. Some things change. He's flopping now. I don't want him to play next season. Shannon Sharp needs to be quiet about a sport that he probably can't even dribble, right? I've never seen him play in any celebrity games, but he wants to tell me how LeBron is the greatest ever. And I love Shannon Sharp, but I hate listening to him talk about basketball. It's like fingernails on a chalkboard.
Yeah, I think Shannon needs to worry about more what's going on with those snow bunnies that are chasing down than he does worry about LeBron.
He can't help himself. He said it on many interviews. He likes the ladies. We heard the audio about 6 months ago.
He liking the ladies.
Yeah.
The Lakers, Jonathan G's not the first person I heard say that. This has been trending on social media to where a lot of people felt like if they had AD, that they would be further. And that's one person said that Luka is what's the reason of the problem right now with the Lakers, them getting Luka. So that is crazy.
Well, it's a weird flow right now, right? You got a ball dominant Luka, and you got Austin Reeves and LeBron trying to do things off the ball, and they're not really great off ball players. It's a weird dynamic they have in LA. And I agree with Jonathan. They might have been better with AD if AD can stay on the freaking court.
Yep.
Right.
He is the operation man. I mean, every game, something else goes out. And so I think we're seeing I told Coach this earlier today. I think we're seeing the passing of the torch. I'm a huge Anthony Edwards fan. And I mean, he is playing lights out. He's taking the challenges. He's guarding the best player. I think it's Minnesota's to lose. Meaning, even when they get past the Lakers, they'll probably play Golden State or Houston if they catch up. And I think he's going to beat them too. I know last year he kind of choked in the Western Conference Finals. I think he exerted all of his energy against Denver last year. So he was just completely empty or in all of the spotlight. Right. But come on, Ant-Man.
Yeah, Corey Patterson said he don't want to talk about basketball because Detroit is getting beat down. Well, it's a 3-1 series. You still got a small chance, Corey, for the Detroit Pistons. It's still a chance. You know what I'm saying? It's still a chance. They're playing right now.
It's winning by 3 right now.
So keep hopes alive, Corey.
Yeah.
He said AD in Detroit, we'll call him Mr. Glass.
Yes, sir. He is Mr. Glass.
For real. And Jonathan talking about snow bunnies in 5. No, I'm gonna tell you, my Shannon Sharp doesn't.
Here we go.
No, seriously,
he stand it.
He didn't play basketball. We know that. But the one thing that I can appreciate about him, because when I listen to him talk, being a fan of basketball, the man does a great job doing his homework. And when I listen to him
I give him that.
He's like me. He speaks from a fan perspective. He don't speak from an X's and O's perspective. He speaks from his perspective on what he saw. He's not ashamed to let you know that his perspective is coming from his fandom, not from his expertise. Which you don't get a lot of that in mainstream media journalists. They think that they know everything. They're gonna drop the X and O board. They're gonna tell you that. Shannon look like, hey, my sport. Like he let you know. Listen, I'm just a fan of LeBron. I'm gonna swear up and down that he's better than Jordan. But when you listen to Shannon Sharpe talk about it, every encounter he had with Jordan, you thought he was meeting Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
He said, man, when Jordan got on the elevator, man, I just saw a light over him. Just like, what? I was like, so because he in that era, he know what it's like to be in the 90s and being around Jordan, but he's just
I'm gonna definitely need more Eric Shannon Sharpe impersonations. I'm definitely gonna need him to talk. I need a whole podcast where he speaks like that for the whole time.
That's greatness. EC, come on, get back with us. You hear that?
I'm sorry, but yeah. What did he say about me?
I definitely need a Shannon Sharpe impersonation more often from you.
Oh man, I've been working on that.
He said he wants you to do a whole podcast just talking like Shannon Sharpe.
That's Shannon Sharpe. I don't think I could be on that one. I'll laugh the whole time.
Don't get my yak.
Yeah.
But no, man, no. But I appreciate Shannon Sharpe. That he's in the. I already did my spill on that. The other day.
Man, he's freezing a lot right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and we got a little bit of funky weather, but nothing terrible. But hey, so he's going to ask us for final thoughts. So I'm going to go ahead and jump and beat him to the get on this. EC.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, EC, and it's one. I'm just going to tell you. You and I and the missus, if they want to, they're invited. We'll go catch a Dallas Wings game sooner than later. Okay, bud?
Facts.
All right, man?
Facts. We're going to do that. We're going to do it.
Okay. That's my final thoughts.
All right, then J-Dub is on you.
Mine's easy. Y'all heard me say it last week or whatever. I'm not a big hockey fan, but the Dallas Stars are looking like phenomenal. They scored 3 goals in the first period last night. So I do watch the Dallas Stars, and I'm getting better at following that little puck around the ice. It's hard to see, especially getting older. I can't see the golf ball, let alone the puck. So let's go Dallas.
That series, 3-2 right now, favoring Dallas?
Yes, sir.
So good job. I was kind of watching a little bit of them last night. But man, my final thoughts is this, man. Listen, NBA season from here until June, that's what we're going to be on. We got the NFL draft out the way. So from here on out, y'all, it's all about the NBA. We're finna follow these teams and just dive into it, man. Next week, we should know what the first round look like and what the second round going to be, and we're just going to dive in. Let's keep it going, man. But there's some teams playing tonight. Let's keep it going. What's the score for the Detroit game right there, JW? Still got pulled up?
The Knicks are up 2.
Yeah, 49-47, yeah.
With like 30 seconds to go in the first half.
And then you got Milwaukee and Indiana are knotted up going into overtime, 103 apiece starting overtime.
Now it's 106-103 with 3 minutes to go.
Who is it, Milwaukee?
Pacers. It caught up from a 20-point deficit early in the game.
We were on the phone talking about that.
We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
They going home. Milwaukee, but the Damon Lillard got Achilles. I mean, was that Achilles? So,
it's time for Damian, who I love his whole career. 35 years old. It's hard to come back from that injury. Not impossible, but hard. It's time for Dame to retire. It's time for Giannis to go to Houston. And
come on,
let's see, because Milwaukee ain't gonna be able to build a team around him in the time he has left. So it's time for them to cut their losses on a max contract and for him to get another chance at a ring.
Wow.
I love Doc Rivers, but Ime Udoka is a whole lot better coach right now than he is.
1,000%.
Wait.
No brainer.
This is my last thoughts. And I love Doc Rivers. I grew up watching him play for Atlanta, right? I love Doc Rivers. But I don't understand why he's always the guy they bring in on a superstar team thinking he's the guy to lead them to the promised land. And he barely won the one in Boston.
Preach.
And I love him, but I don't understand why teams keep bringing him in for superstar teams. Like he's Phil Jackson. This is like he's Pat Riley.
Clippers did it. Sixers did it. Bucks did it. Yeah, I don't get it, bro.
I don't get it at all.
So to my understanding, I think with the Boston squad, I think they love the energy and the synergy he created with the players.
Yeah,
so
I get that.
They think that can translate, but the team didn't welcome him.
And in Boston, you had a bunch of older cats that were from a different era that can vibe with his energy and understand his energy, and he's the right coach for those three guys. But this new generation, I don't think Doc's energy does anything for James Harden or does anything for Giannis or does anything for Joel Embiid. So again, it's just very weird to me. It's very weird to me.
Yeah.
I am directly plugged into my Spectrum modem and it's still not working. So I don't know. I got my Ethernet plugged in, it's still not working. That's my final thoughts. Before this thing shut off me again, I get bit by the Spectrum bug. Jonathan G leaving the comments, he said Rivers has superb interview skills. Exactly. I don't know what he be telling me.
Yeah.
He must. And he's a pretty likable guy. So yeah.
He's a great person.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he laughs with a great coach that has a raspy voice. So
oh yeah. Makes him even better. Makes it even better.
That raspy voice coach. Y'all, that's all we have right now, man. Tune in next week as we dive further into the NBA playoffs, man. For those who are watching, man, please thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, leave comments, share the video if you're on Facebook. And please, man, join us next week. And we are out, man. Join the conversation.
Awesome.
Appreciate you guys.